Hi there, Pastor Nate here. Welcome to today's 2-minute teaching. And today I'm going to talk about forgiveness and bitterness and some of these things that can creep into our lives and really ruin us from the inside out. And it's been said that unforgiveness, harboring unforgiveness or bitterness against someone is like drinking rat poison and waiting for the rat to die. Now, I know it's a little bit of a dramatic illustration, but if you think about it, it's so true. If you are harboring unforgiveness towards somebody else, or you're bitter against somebody else, you are swallowing that poison and holding it in your soul and waiting for that to affect them somehow when they're not affected by that. It doesn't bother them at all. All the while, you are being poisoned from the inside out. And in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 15, it says, "To beware lest any root of bitterness spring up and cause trouble, and by this many become defiled." And that's what bitterness is. It's like a seed that's planted in your heart, and that unforgiveness or that bitterness against someone grows into a root, and then it springs up into a plant, and what it does is it causes trouble all around, and it defiles not just yourself and not just the other person, but relationships all over the place. And see, being a root, if you think about like when you get those plants that grow in the cracks in your driveway, what happens if you leave that plant in there? If you give it time, it grows up and the root begins to expand and it starts to crack the concrete. Think about that for just a second. How can a plant crack concrete? It grows and it grows and it expands and it begins to push the concrete away and it causes cracks in it. This is the same thing that those roots of bitterness and unforgiveness do in our hearts and in the lives of people that are around us. If we're holding on to bitterness and unforgiveness, that root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and many become defiled by it, starting with you from that poison on the inside out. But see, if we take the other end of the spectrum, and First Peter's talking about how love covers a multitude of sins. And so if we love people, not just for feeling wise, but in action, our love can cover over those sins and we can give forgiveness and offer forgiveness because love covers a multitude of sins. And so don't let those roots of bitterness grow up in your heart. Cast them out and allow the love of God to cover over them. Have a great day.